Kansas City Chiefs. With that, we're out to Arrowhead for the call from Kansas City. We'll hand it over to Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Kansas City Chiefs. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And he'll power his way up near the 25.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He lets it fly for Rocket. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
This is fielded inside the 5. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
Now, the meeting we had with him this week, that's one of the briefer ones we've ever had, isn't it?
He wasn't too happy after last week.
Not happy. Really determined to play a whole lot better, and he really can't play a whole lot worse. He's got to go out and show the team that the goods that he exhibited early are still there. Otherwise, he could lose the confidence that they have in him.
Yeah, hoping to get rid of that interception bug. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Mahomes going to throw. Big hold of the 30. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp, and he'll take it to the 43-yard line. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all this stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Mahomes now on first down. And it's caught. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Wilson. That's complete to the tight end, Saubert. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. And this will be incomplete. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
So let's all work together on this one, because it's natural to just watch the football. But I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he will take it on out to the 20-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll try the left side. Moss. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well. And
you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Well, look now at our starting defense. They're currently 21st, Charles, in the NFL against the run.
And the focus now is making sure that they're hitting on all cylinders as they head into the playoffs. And that means they've got to stop the run better, because playoff football often means running football. So they've got to be prepared for that.
Mahomes looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Now a give, right side. Moss. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On third and long, it's Mahomes. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you got to love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing. I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Second down and goal. Mahomes. He's got it. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4. Now a handoff here to his running back. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try to move the football.
A first down run, not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Draw play. This is Carson. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On third down, Wilson setting up the screen. This is Samuels. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to fourth down.
Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
Buying time to his left. Now he'll pull it down. He's got the first down and more past midfield. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Mahomes now to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. It's more coming. It's more coming.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going.
This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good, we're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Butker now to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Wilson throwing again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. This is Carson, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's taken on the 25. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
He's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 33-yard line.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
I'm coming.
Now Mahomes. He's going to go for a big play downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Mecole Hardman as the first half is winding down. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point up and through. And a rout is on here in this first half. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. after the touchdown. Here's Butker on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get...
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And the division title out of reach, we know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
So it's just a matter of adjusting now, isn't it? And what I mean by that is mentally. Every team starts the season thinking, let's go for the number 1 seed, right? Being the top team. Number 2 is pretty great, too, because you get the opening bye, and you're at home after that. But it doesn't matter at this point. Just getting in, and you just sit there and talk to your team. Would you rather go on the road and deal with someone, or would you rather stay at home for the playoffs? Let's go on the road and go take someone out.
Eluding the pressure right. They complete it to Hill. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 40. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play...
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play. Mahomes now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. Now the ball comes loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
They run again with Carson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got... do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Throwing is Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Butker on for the PAT. And they're able to up the lead by one more. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at that time, actually. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off at the 25, and his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Moss. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check.
Gets it to Hill. It's a jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
His pass clock at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh, yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Here's Wilson to throw on 3rd down. And he finds Stills complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Around the NFL, they've gone to the third in Cleveland. The Browns, they have scored again to add on to their lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. We're back now in KC. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. He lets it fly from Lockett. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. To throw again. Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 27-yard line. Wilson now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. To throw again is Wilson. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. From the corner, it was Kendall Fuller with a sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To try again after the sack. Wilson. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels.
I'm going to hit you all day.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now it's Wilson. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they stop him short of the 1st as he can only get to the 20. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now they try the right side here. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd down, Moss. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And now running right through it. Fighting through it. He's got space. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Check.
Then he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. And we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of 2 there, second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he loses the football a second time. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a...
It got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 36 yards on the play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Let's go.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Hey, let's get this.
Now Wilson on first down. And still springing it in. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give them 19 there as the drive marches forward. Now it's Wilson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4. Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll come out in the pistol.
Number 53.
Wilson will throw again. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Darren Lee make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd and goal, Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And here just playing for pride at this point. Down big, but they'll go for it on 4th and goal. One last shot for Wilson, and that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And